Welcome to Dr. Costine's commentary. My name is Dr. Lauren Costine, and I'm continuing on a journey I'm taking you on of LGBT history. And last time we left off, I was talking about sort of the end of the Roman Empire and the transition into Christianity. This is all taking place within the context of Western civilization, by the way. I have yet to touch on other parts of the world, and I am very, very aware that there's a lot of other things to talk about besides just Western civilization. And in my LGBT history and myth class, it is a global class. But for now, I've been touching just on the formation of Western civilization as it relates to heterosexism, all the phobias, homophobia, lesbian phobia, biphobia, transphobia, and the internalization of those, and why we've ended up with the culture that we have today that has been so oppressive and so shaming and so problematic for LGBT folks. Knowing our history, knowing where this came from, knowing where all this negativity originated can be very helpful to shedding it, to no longer owning it, to understanding that we've internalized these messages and they no longer need to be the messages that we take as truth, because they are not truth. They are all developed by different kinds of ideologies that were developed by people to control, dominate, influence, and stemming from fear and misunderstanding, and really, wanting to have all the power. So subjugating women, subjugating LGBT people has allowed the heterosexist society to have all the power. And so we're feeling those effects today. So basically what is, and there is a origin of this. There's a time that this really happened. So going back to the Roman Empire and going on to Christianity, we can understand the trajectory that happened, that created this kind of wave of a wave of the way people were treated in the world. So basically, around the time that Costine decided to make Christianity the religion of the Roman Empire, there was a couple Christian forefathers that either helped create that or were a part of making Christianity more well known, more well understood, and reach further audiences. One of those first people was St. Paul. And maybe many of you know who St. Paul was. He was the one that met Jesus on the road of Damascus and had his own sort of born again moment, became a Christian, and then started spreading the gospel as he saw it. And very interesting, there's a couple things about him and I'm going to be bringing it from an LGBT lens, but one of the things that was very interesting about his component in this is that he was in a big hurry. He really did believe that the end of the world was coming soon, and so he was in a rush. He was in a hurry himself. He went down to Greece and he was busy spreading the message of Jesus, and he really, really believed that he needed to save and convert as many people as possible, because the underworld was coming, and if you were not converted, you were going to go to hell for the rest of your life. So there was this really kind of, dire need inside of him to get this moving quickly. And that was very effective, actually. But as he relates to what I'm talking about, St. Paul really believed in the idea that Jesus was celibate. And that was a very important component to him. And so he believed in himself that celibacy was the most noble way to go, the most noble way to live one's life. And so he himself became celibate, and he thought everyone that converted to Christianity should be celibate because he believed that relationships, he believed that sex, he believed that eros got in the way with one's relationship with God and one's, a direction towards heaven. So that was a big component. Before that, before he started bringing that message around, we didn't see so much repression of sexuality in the way we do after him. And there's other people that play a part in this, but he played a major part. So he also said that, okay, listen, if you are, and of course he directed most of his attention to men because in his eyes women weren't really that important, which was very much the norm of the time. He said to these men, these straight men who were married to women, look, okay, if you can't be celibate, I understand, you have to have sex with only your wife and you can't enjoy it, basically. So, there was this real idea that out of the 7 deadly sins, lust was really bad. And it got in the way of your relationship with God. So this is a big, important message that started to infiltrate into Western civilization. Thank you.